bring in Chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, Kentucky Representative James Comer. Sir, you guys actually are making efforts to get to the bottom of who's funding all this stuff and what you can do about it.
Yeah, we're trying to get people in to go on the record so we can build up a case that will actually win in court. That's what we do on the Oversight Committee. We can't arrest anyone, but we can have criminal referrals to the Department of Justice. And this is a huge issue. We've got budget deficits. We've got these liberal groups that are using taxpayer dollars to try to destroy our country. And yet the majority of members of Congress just turn a blind eye to it because it's too much trouble to try to halt funding for everything else, to try to identify a fraction of that, which is going to those NGOs. It's been real frustrating, but we're not going to stop. We've got a good committee, and we know the problems there, and we're going to keep fighting until we see some accountability.
Yeah, well, you guys are handing all over to the DOJ, and the DOJ is bringing it about as far as the lead balloon, so we'll see what happens there. But you also announced an investigation into rampant taxpayer fraud in California's hospice program. Billions of dollars. You wrote a letter to Gavin Newsom saying that he knew about the state audit reports of hospice fraud for at least 4 years and didn't do anything about it. This would drive me insane, sir.
Yeah, hospice is a program everyone supports. No, everyone uses hospice in their deepest, darkest time of need. And
just because I'm turned criminal doesn't mean I don't have a heart.
Of fraud has occurred in hospicing in California is sickening to any taxpayer. But we're zeroing in on one county, Los Angeles County, where 18% of the total amount of money spent on hospice in America went to this one county. And in further review, there were no guardrails. You and I could form an LLC today and buy a UPS post office box and get licensed within 24 hours in the state of California and start billing hospice for fake patients like the Leering Center in Minnesota. So we're zeroed in on this. Gavin Newsom is always a day late in the dollar store, and he's come in and said, okay, we're going to put guardrails in. Well, he's known about it for 4 years and hasn't done anything about it. Now, I'm optimistic on this welfare fraud because we're seeing people convicted. We're seeing the Bondi Department of Justice in Minnesota now prosecuting people, going in front of grand jury, getting people convicted. We're going to see the same thing in California. So we're working with the Department of Justice, working with Vice President J.D. Vance, who's just been placed in charge of a national fraud task force. And I really think that in these fraud cases in these states, we're going to see some accountability.
It's crazy to me, in a place like California, it's easier to build a hospice center and get licensed for that than it is to get a lawful gun permit.
Yeah, that's right.
Kash Patel has moved to release the old files on Congressman Eric spy Fang Fang.
All right, let's see. One of Mr. Faber's clients had some assets stolen.
That's great.
See
And
the
I
location on your
strongly
GPS?
support that.
Make your way over.
The American people deserve to know the truth about that. He never was held accountable. The mainstream media never covered it. The conservative media outlets covered it. But now that he's, a potential gubernatorial candidate of the biggest state in America,
a bit of history for you. Mr. Faber and Tony Prince go way back. I mean, Tony's first close on Mr. Adventure. Kind of financial relationship they've got is tight, you know. They're totally interconnected, which means if Gay Tony ends up in debt, so does Mr. Faber. Now, Tony, he likes to invest in whiskey. We're talking 6-figure, even 7-figure bottles. And I just found out one of his runners stole a bunch of them. Now, look. I want to solve this before it becomes Mr. Faber's problem, so we gotta hit up this runner's place, find out where those bottles are, and get them back. Alright, hot stuff, you got this.
Also, if you have a congressman on foreign affairs committees and access to intel allegedly sitting with a Chinese spy, I kind of want to know about it. Congressman James Comer, keep up the good work, sir.
Thank you.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad. I thought you said Donald Trump was a problem. Well, if Donald Trump's a problem, then why is he paying people? He was just let them not get paid because he's lockstep with the Republicans. You know what happens is the Republican Democrats in Congress can't get along. And so Donald Trump has to be daddy in the room and say, I'm going to pay these people and find a way to pay them. And this fool goes, here's the nigga who's paying them. So they not get paid?
What did Democrats get out of this standoff?
Yeah, well, Margaret, the standoff is not done.
Harrison made the deal.
Yeah, but luck to you, the one who actually did take action.
Well, I have to say thanks to the president for signing the executive order to pay us.
Before we get to this, I want to talk about Tatum Store just real quick. I want you guys to know there's some other cool designs that are coming out.